Welcome to 100 Days of Python, the Python Code Along Challenge. I'm Bill Mosley, and if you want to find the entire listing of the 100 Days of Python, you can find it at my website, www.bmosley.com/hdp. Let's get started. So today we're going to do something that I think is really fun, and we are going to get into what's called a fractal design. And a fractal is a visualization of a mathematical principle where a bigger shape repeats itself in smaller shapes. And the way we accomplish that in the computer science world is through a construct called recursion. And recursion is when we create a function that calls itself inside itself. It might seem a little crazy, but bear with me, and I will show you an example of a simple recursive function right now. So the first thing I want to do is from turtle import all. We're going to use all those things. And once again, we're going to create a screen object. And all the way down here at the bottom, we're going to say screen exit on click. That'll keep that window open even after the turtle is done drawing. And so what I'm going to do here is the first thing I'm going to do is, because I'm going to have something that's drawing sort of an automated process, I need to tell it when to stop and when to stop the recursive process, because then if I don't, it'll just keep going and going and going inside itself. So my computer says, well, that's enough. So right now, I'm just going to create an integer called int min. I'm going to call it 30. And that will be a size threshold that will tell the computer that it's time to stop doing the recursive loop or doing the recursion and back out of the recursion. That'll make more sense in just a minute. So I'm going to create a recursive fractal tree. And so I'm going to have something called draw bridge, just like that. And I am going to give it a parameter, which is a distance, so a length of the branch, let's just say. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go forward, there we go. And we're going to go int distance. And then we're going to say if int distance is greater than the int minimum, in other words, should we stop being recursive at this point? If it's greater than, then we're going to continue to be recursive here. So we're going to say left 30, and then we are going to, this is where it gets interesting. You ready? Draw branch. So notice, here's the name of the function, and I'm calling that function right here. And I'm going to say draw branch, and I'm going to say int distance, 4 divided by, and I'm going to say 1.3. Let's say 1.3. So it's going to decrease that number just slightly. Okay, so it'll draw a slightly smaller branch than this branch, but it's going to, when it gets to here, it's going to say, oh, we'll go back up to here, we'll pass that, whatever this number is divided by 1.3. It'll go forward again, and it'll say, is it still less? Let's complete this out now. And I'm going to say right 60. And then guess what? I'm going to draw another branch. Int distance, 4 divided by 1.3. And then after it draws that branch, I'm going to go left 30. And if you'll notice, that puts me, if I go left 30, then right 60, then left 30, that puts me right back at the same trajectory that I was, which is an important part of this because that allows us to go backwards, back down. Okay, so after I do that, I'm going to go back int distance, and that'll take me back to where I started after this branch. So I'm going to go inside, 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 and then once I get done, I'm going to go back out. So this should draw a very simple recursive tree. Let's run this and see how it goes. And nothing. Now the last thing we need to do here is call the function, and it will begin drawing for us. So I'm going to draw branch, and let's give it a starting value of 200. Let's see how that goes. And we'll run that. Uh-oh, looks like I've got a sideways tree here, so we need to do a few things. First, let's teleport, and we'll teleport. We'll stay at 0, and we'll go negative 200. That should be down 200. And then we'll set heading to 90 degrees, which is straight up. Let's see that now. Oh, there it is. And you can see now it is drawing a nice, perfect recursive tree. You can see every time it splits 30 degrees to the left, 30, 30, 30, until it gets to past that threshold, which is anything less than 30. And then it goes back down. And it'll draw each fork until it gets to 30, back down. So you can see the repeating shape here inside itself. It's about halfway done now with the tree. And don't worry, in future iterations, we can speed up that turtle quite a bit so we don't have to watch. But this most simple part of the design, it is kind of interesting to see it go. And we're almost done here. Last little bit. We've got one more fork there. And you can kind of see where it's getting close to being over, and watch it back, straight back down, all the way down to the beginning. And it's finished. So that's what it looks like there. And of course, if I start this out with a smaller size, 150, let's say, then of course it's going to draw a smaller tree. Now let's set the speed to 0, which is the fastest speed here. And if I run that again, it will create that tree much quicker for us. Okay, so there's our tree. And that's a great example of a fractal design. It's a great example of recursion, and because it illustrates how recursion works, but it's not a very realistic tree, right? So here's an interesting thing. When we have each level of the recursion, you can kind of see visually here. So this is the first level of that loop, and then it goes into the second level. So these are the second level of that recursion. This is the third level, the fourth level, the fifth level, sixth level. Looks like we have 7 levels of recursion here. Okay, so the 7 levels of recursion, what can we do to make this tree more interesting looking? One thing we could do is, everybody knows that the trunk of the tree down here is much thicker than the tiniest branches up here. So why don't we use the level of the recursion to set the thickness of the pin width for each level? So the way that's going to work here is we want to add a second parameter. And I'm going to say int level there. And we're going to start that out with 1 here. And each one of these internal ones is going to be int level plus 1. So we've got int level plus 1. Now, to make it start out thick and get smaller, we are going to set the pen size right here. And we will say pen size, and then we're going to use 8 minus int level, because we know that 8 is the, or 7 is the biggest one. So that means that at the highest level, the pen size will be down to 1. So let's try it with this new modification and see how it works. And that looks much cooler, right? So we could do that in a non-linear way also, right? So I could say pen size, if we wanted to do it as a square of the number. Ooh, that's pretty extreme. I don't know if I like that. Um, that's pretty cool though, right? I think let's just go down to times 2, and that'll give a similar effect, but not as extreme. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Why don't we do this? We can do this, which will bring it to that, to bring it to 0 at that level. So we're going to go +1 because we can have a pen size of 0. I'm going to do the +1 after we multiply it times 2. So it'll take 7, subtract int level, multiply it times 2, and then add 1, which at the smallest level will give us 1, and then a bigger number after that. So let's run this again. And that's maybe a happy medium where we're not jumping down quite so much each time. It just looks like a very perfect, very young tree. Now, there's a lot more we can do because we know that in nature, right, trees are not perfectly round and symmetrical. Trees are not actually a perfect fractal design like this is. And while this is very satisfying, maybe it would be more interesting if we introduced a little bit of variation in this. And so maybe what we want to do is get a little bit of variation in the length of these branches. Let's just introduce a little bit of variation here. So I'm going to come back up here. For that, I'm going to import random. Okay, so now I need to do a few things to get this ready. The first thing I need to do is right here, because I'm going to use this distance as a way of producing a random number here. I'm going to have to convert this to an integer, and I can do that on the fly here. And all I'm going to lose is whatever the decimal is here, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. I'm not super concerned about retaining that. So it'll just drop whatever's after the decimal here in this piece, and that should be fine. And then what I'm going to need to do next is I'm going to calculate a travel distance. So int travel equals randint. Oops, going to use random.randint. And inside that, I'm going to give it 2 integers. So I'm going to say int distance. And once again, I'm going to convert that to an int divided by floor divided by 1.3. We're going to really make sure that's an int. And int going to be int distance floor divided by 0.7. And then I'm going to take that number here. I'm going to substitute int travel for the forward and the back distance, which should give me variation in the distance that each branch travels. So let's give this a shot and see how it looks. And now you can see there is variation there. No longer a perfect tree. Now I could probably do a little bit more variation in each one. So let's go ahead and increase those to 1.5 and 0.5. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, so the whole tree getting quite a bit bigger. Now it's not perfectly random. It's not as good as a fully randomized tree, but it is getting kind of cool. Now in our next section or next session of 40 Days of Python or 100 Days of Python, we will come back and do some more work on making this tree look a little bit more realistic. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and coding along with me. Once again, if you want to access the entire listing of 100 Days of Python, you can do it at my website, www.bmosley.com/hdp. You can also access my book, Introduction to Python Programming for Absolute Beginners, at my website, www.bmosley.com/book. Thanks again, and we'll see you around.